It's November 6th, and Dylan and I are up in this red oak tree, kind of smack in the middle of a bedding area that Ben and I scouted a couple days ago. I targeted this area on the map just because it's got a ton of old field on it. It's super thick in here. And when we scouted along through here, we found this old fence row that we're in, and there's kind of a crossing right here in front of us. This is just a big intersection of two trails crossing from one thicket across this little open patch of timber here where this old fence row is into another thicket. There's a scrape probably 25 yards away. We got trails intersecting right here at about 15 yards, and we got a wind blowing away from those intersecting trails. When we were in here the other day, we saw does feeding on acorns that are dropping from these red oak trees, and then also apples. A lot of this ground is old pasture ground, so there's old fence rows and stuff going through it. And we were just trying to find a little pocket where there might be deer sticking to the cover throughout the day while they're cruising. I feel like this is one of those spots where a big buck feels really comfortable moving through, but also on a path of least resistance coming down this open stuff. We saw a small buck acting real weird when we came in the dark. Pretty much just walked right past him right as it was starting to get gray light. Maybe today's the day. You never know. I think things are probably starting to heat up pretty good, so maybe we'll get lucky today and catch some bucks cruising through this area. Your day boys going absolutely crazy out here. They're pumped up. They're fired up about to run too. Well, I'm a firm believer if you're in it during the rut, you're in it, and if you're not, you're way out of the game. So we didn't feel like we were in it this morning. The scrape wasn't freshened up. No movement through here. We got pretty good wind, so we're gonna go pop around in a couple spots and see exactly what's going on over there. There's really good habitat, at least it looks like on the map, but we gotta get in there and figure it out a little bit. So I guess the real reason that I'm interested in this spot that we're going to go to is it kind of falls into that same category of the stuff that Ben and I were hunting in Ohio last year. It's just open ground. There's not a lot of opportunity for tree stands, so I'm going to go check it out and see what it's like, see if there's deer in there. And if there is, I'll probably just hang around there all day, get on one. You on him? He's a slammer, dude. He's a straight slammer. You on him?
Yep.
He is a tank, son. Well, that's about the perfect spot for one to be, too. We just gotta find out where the doe is. Up to the right between these two, hey, look, to the right between those two pine trees, you can just see his pine sticking out. Big. They're both huge. I don't even have a preference whatsoever.
Yeah.
We got a good wind. We got low ground to follow on in on. We need to keep eyes on him. It's the biggest thing. And I think we've got enough wind that if it takes us all day, we can crawl to him.
Yeah.
Alright guys, we're just driving around and there's two huge bucks out in this grass field and they're on public. We've been waiting for this opportunity and we've got lucky, and they're just two giants out here. But I don't want to lose sight of them. I want to basically get...
Park right here? So what's our wind doing? Is it blowing right this way?
This way.
This way, okay. Yeah, it's coming in through the window. Okay.
Son of a gun, they're big.
Getting all
I'm fired up. I'm so fired up, dude. I'm a little shaken in a good way.
Then the destination is on your right.
She's not rushing.
Yeah, I can see other big boys standing up there too.
Yep.
We might literally, you're right, be able to creep right up that fence line. Park it like over here and walk across. He's got a doe in there. That's exactly what
he's got a doe on that fence line.
I do. Yeah. I think we might want to get the high ground on him.
Destination is on your right.
Just barely come in and just skirt and just come down that fence row. Dang it, that thing is freaky.
The other one's right next to him still.
I'll shoot either one of them, but that one is freaky.
Yeah, he's
like freaking me out, son.
He's a freaking big boy.
Yeah, let's just park it right here, huh?
I think so, yeah. Your tire, don't go any farther this way. Is your tire off the white?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, then you're fine.
All right, let's work fast. I just saw him before we got across this ditch. I think we just hug this fence, don't you? And just kind of feel out our route.
It'd be nice to just keep a visual down there.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I want to burn it up there. Just make sure you're staying low. I don't see him up there at all. I think I might just climb up into that tree. Maybe you stay here and I'll just climb up there and see if I can get eyes on him. I mean, I don't want to leave if we don't know exactly where they are, and I don't want to go after him if we don't know exactly where they are. Do you have that saddle on you? We'll put that on. I'm just going to crawl up to that tree. You just stay back here. I mean, I just don't think that it's worth both of us going up there. I mean, I don't know how far they even are. Those bucks were right over here last time we saw them. Zach and I are taking turns moving and trying to get a visual on them. A little bit ago, probably an hour ago, we got eyes on two freaky looking bucks for New York. They're right on the edge of this fence row. Dylan's behind me about 50 yards, and I just climbed up into this pine tree to try to glass, and I've just been sitting here for forever, and I just saw one of them stand up. He's like right there on that fence row. On the other side, it's private, but he's exactly right there. Oh, I'm giddy. We're gonna get on this thing. The other one's even bigger. But I think I know based off of how he acted when he got up. I think I know where the other one is too. I saw both the bucks There's one right here. And there's another one a little bit further down. The big one with the doe is the one that's further down. Once you get up there, look at the biggest white trees. Okay. They're both right underneath both those trees. If we mess around too long, they could get on that private.
Yeah, go.
All right. Track. I'm gonna just crawl right down this. The wind blowing this way. They're over there. It's kind of crosswind, but I think they're in a good position for me to get close to them. 75 yards from that buck. About 80 from where I think he's at. The wind's still pretty good. Honestly, the only thing I'm really worried about is spooking that doe. If she's on this side, I'm in trouble. But if she's on that side, I think I can crawl right up to the deer. Both of them. Probably get a shot pretty easily. I'm just gonna keep moving slow though. There's the buck and the doe. I see him, he's like 75 yards. Well, here we go. I just saw Zach. Zach's gonna get a shot. This buck's gonna walk right to him. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all she wrote. I just smoked him, buddy. Oh my god. I just smoked him. That was the most insane thing that's ever happened to me right there, folks. Oh man. That's freaking intense. That son of a gun took off bounding, running right up this freaking trail. He eventually just went in the grass I drew. He looked the other way, and I just stood right up and I shot him like 20 yards. And I'm 99% sure I just smoked him. Oh my goodness. What an awesome hunt. That is absolutely crazy. Let's see if we can see Zach. Son! Baby, yes. Look at this guy. Smoked him, dude. Did you get it? Everything. Everything. He's dead, isn't he? Did you watch him go down? I don't know. It sounded perfect, and I watched the arrow hit him perfect. I was in the tree, I was filming it, and I was like, why is it not shooting? Oh, he must be too far. And all of a sudden, all I hear is, and I was like, oh, and he just comes roaring right underneath me. Dude, how close did he get to you? He almost hit the tree. I figured. I was like, I think Dylan's going to see this son of a gun go down. Dude, that was awesome. That was so sick, dude. That part where he stopped, did you see it? Did you know that he was right on this lane with me? Yeah. I about died. I was like, he had you busted. He did. He saw me, but he didn't. He was worried about something spooked him over here. I don't know what happened. I think it was a car. Cause like there was like a louder car or something over there with an engine, and that's when he like freaked out and ran over here. I don't know where the doe went. I don't either. I never saw, like, I was so focused on him. Dude. Oh, there she is, right there. Literally, right there. Oh, yeah. See her? She is. Yep. Well, John knew I ought to go just set up on that trail. Right? There she goes. I got her. We got him. Dude, he's huge. Oh my God. He's like, he's so much more than I ever could have asked for out of New York. Into spot and stalk. In New York, literally my dream come true. This is like this is one of the best whitetail hunting moments of my life. Dude, that's really everything you've been asking for all trip. I was like, if we find a hot doe, we're gonna be in good shape, son. Hot doe in the middle of an open field. So ridiculous. That's what it's all about, man. That's what the rut is like. You can be. I have not seen a buck with a main beam. Till today.
And this is what, day 5, 6? 5 of hunting, I think.
6.
6.
November 6th.
Yeah.
Dude, let's go find this arrow.
Okay.
We've calmed ourselves down a hair here, getting a little bit of water. That whole ordeal probably took 2 or 3 hours, I would say, from the time we spotted them to the time we shot. It took an hour from the time I got out of the tree until when I shot.
Yeah.
We are now looking for the arrow. Really surprised we can't find the arrow. I figured it would have just got kind of hung up in this stuff as it passed through them, but can't seem to find it. But we're actually just waiting for John Lewis, and I think Shane's probably still with him. So they're coming out to help with this recovery. John said he wants to see my reaction, so.
I don't know why a deer would be in here.
They're bedded. He was bedded right in that little yellow grass right beside you.
Really?
Right in that little wad right there. Careful, there's an arrow in here somewhere.
I don't care.
Oh man, it was so wild.
Where'd you shoot him from? Right here?
He was like right here, and I was on that fence line.
Yep.
It is, dude. We've walked right by it a million times.
Yeah.
Sweet!
Oh yeah. I don't think he made it very far.
Did you see him fall? Dylan?
I don't know.
I think he Dylan saw him fall.
Yeah. Shot looked good.
Oh yeah. I can't believe he
glance
saw
over
that.
here and see it laying there.
Like perfect. We literally have been walking through here for the last 25 minutes. All of a sudden, a car must have spooks him. He jumps like 2 or 3 bounds and jumps right on that trail that I'm on, and is 30 yards from me, just like. And I'm just like, well, I'm toast. And as he's coming in, I hit the dirt, clip on, and I'm ready. But I didn't have enough time to draw because he did like 2 big bounds. He was on me because he was 50 yards from me. But I think I was seriously just up in those shadows enough that he didn't know what I was.
Yeah.
So he started to turn. I was like, oh my gosh, this
Was
might
the wind
happen.
coming like this?
Wind was just barely like, I mean, this or this.
Yeah, but just offset enough.
Just off.
Yeah.
And he started to try to circle me, I think. And he got in that grass. And as soon as he went in that grass and I couldn't see both eyes, I just, real low drew. He didn't see me draw, but as soon as he like kept checking me and he started walking, keep checking me, walking, and then he stopped and went like that. And I was like, see ya. Boom.
Oh my.
Yeah, they're right here.
There's some right here. I think this must be his trail then, huh?
Yeah, he pretty much ran straight at the tree.
Yeah, here's a whole bunch way up on the.
Oh yeah.
Based off of Dylan's reaction as the deer ran by, he's about right there. I could see Dylan going like this. There's a bunch right here. Dude, no way. I see some body right here. Oh man. Yeah!
Dude, what did you do? What did you do?
Look at that thing! No way! Dude, no way! That is insane! That thing's a tank.
I think you hit him pretty good.
Oh yeah. New York. Are you kidding me? Spot and stock.
Stinks.
Oh, darn it. This state's tough. Oh, it has been tough, man. Like, we've been having a heck of a time. Been having a heck of a time seeing deer. We got lucky today. Dudes. What? That's so awesome, man. Yes. Dylan. Whatever, man. That thing's a freak. He's huge. He's just like way, way bigger than anything that I expected to see out there. One thing I will say that I did on this shot that, like, I really thank the practicing for is when I was in Nebraska last September, I stood and I shot with my arrow setup. I shot through sunflowers like over and over, like little sunflowers, to see how much penetration I was still getting in comparison to shooting through nothing but air.
Yeah.
And I shot through a lot of grass, but that's my setup. I know what it'll do. I know that that heavier arrow setup will go right through that. I mean, it went through a bunch of brush and then went right through him, but I shot that shot on purpose. I'm not saying that that's for everybody. No. I don't think you want to do that with an expandable. That's why I shoot those fixed blades.
Yeah, for that type of hunting that you...
That's why I've been stressing all year, everyone's heavy arrow setups.
I mean, I passed up a shot with my brother the other day and I was 36 yards. I can make that shot for those that were wondering. You know, in the right situation, maybe I would have, but you know, we got a lot of time in Iowa. We live there. It's like, wasn't the shot that I wanted for that buck. This buck at 20 yards to the brush. When I'm confident, like I'm taking that shot all day, but you got to know your setup. I can't stress that enough. And dudes, it paid off.
That's awesome.
What the heck? Like he's just
What
so
a tank of
he's
a deer,
just so gigantic. New York, dude. And how many times?
That's crazy.
How many times have I said once I got here? I was like, if we could just see a buck with a doe, then I got a lot of confidence. I really do have a lot of confidence in that situation. What I don't have confidence in, unfortunately, is sitting a funnel all day, just because I'm not patient enough. It's not that I don't think it works, it's just I'm impatient.
We were talking about that on the way here. Like, I don't think either of us, I know I don't have the patience to do what you just did. Like, sneak up on
I'm the
here
opposite.
in a
I can't,
goldenrod
like, I can't. I don't have the patience to do that.
But I think it's just for me, it's that act of
Yeah.
moving, you know? It's that, like, you get into that trance of, like, that's your mentality. I'm not thinking about anything else except for that next step. And I love that, man. I do.
That's true.
Well, it's just cool to take a tactic that works 3,000 miles to the west and bring it to the east and just show that it works, you know.
This time of the year, if you can find an open area that a big buck, those mature bucks, like we were talking about last night, Shane, it's like those big bucks, they want to get, they have that doe right now. Like he had the doe. He's not cruising. You're not seeing this old dude cruising.
No. This
But
is
he's
one
got
you
the
see
doe.
like November 12th.
Right, cruising.
Yeah.
But when he does, what he does with that doe, in my opinion, is he gets it out away from all the other deer. There's not that many deer over here during the day. There's not a lot of deer getting downwind of that doe and heat. Therefore, he's not getting messed with. So he's gardener, but he doesn't have to worry about that much when not a lot of bucks are cruising downwind. Now, you get in the big timber, they're going to get harassed constantly. That's why he has her way out in the open. So I was telling Dylan that earlier today. I was like, I think hanging around this stuff, we're eventually going to catch a big one's got a doe up in there. And an hour later, bow hunting.
bear tag, but.
Oh, mistake. Easy.
All right, guys, thank you. And I think that's gonna do it for me in New York. Really enjoyed New York. It was tough, it was a challenge. Definitely learned a lot about hunting this area. Definitely got a little bit lucky today spotting this guy. I mean, like Shane was saying, you know, it's like not very often does something like that happen in these parts. And I feel really lucky that Dylan and I got to experience it. And feel really lucky that got two guys that are good friends that live halfway across the country, I'd say, to be able to come up here and hunt. John's an old buddy from Midwest Whitetail. We work together, and through John, met Shane, who is now a good buddy. Anybody who comes, helps you drag out a deer, is a good buddy. So, thanks guys,
Dude,
really
that's
awesome. It.
I'm glad you got one.
Yeah, I am too, and hey, you're gonna get one.
Oh, I mean, I'll keep slinging stuff out of it. I don't know, one of these times, like I said to Dylan, I'll either get one or run out of arrows. But usually, I mean, around here you get kind of one shot a year, at least for like the average guy that's hunting. I mean, this year I've hunted more than I've hunted the past 2 years, and I've butchered 2 opportunities. But usually it's, you know, for the average guy that's getting out weekends and stuff, you get out 6-7 times during the season. You usually get one shot, especially when you're hunting stuff that anybody else can hunt. But,
Yeah.
So, but,
well, I learned a lot, that's for sure. Definitely had my frustrations, especially about 10 o'clock this morning, standing there thinking, what are we doing? Where are we going next?
Yeah.
But hey, you got to be out here during the rut, right? I mean,
and there's
you
a
just got to be out.
lot of places to go in New York. I think a lot of people that aren't from the East Coast look at New York and they think about New York City, but the state as a whole has so much recreational opportunities. I mean, we're not too far from my house, but I mean, there's thousands and thousands of ground that you can run around on and get away from people, especially bow hunting. I mean,
yeah, no, and it's inexpensive. It's just about getting out here, and you got, like John said, I mean, you got endless ground to run around on, and I'm in love with New York, man. I was so looking forward to this trip, and this capped it off. So thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate you guys tuning into this New York thing. We've been having a really good time, obviously. So we're gonna be rut hunting the rest of November, I can guarantee you that. So thanks for watching. See you on the next one.
Go.
Nah, leave it. I'll need it now.